Shalom. Kol Halo Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua Ba'asham Rakach Wadash. The months of the apostles, the months of the elders, at Great Millstone who rule well, and taught me this truth. Much respect to you brothers out there, just preaching his word and truth and sincerity. The right folk comes to earth. Tabernacle David, hopeful elect, and the speckled bird to you. I say shalom. All right, so let's get into this lesson, right? And we're in some beautiful times. The nations are waking up. And what does the scripture say? Hey, the least of the flock shall draw them out. And so we're seeing the nations waking up to the wickedness of Esau, Edom, to their own brethren, and how he's moving, how he's conducting himself, committing war crimes. Matter of fact, me and the brother did a lesson the other day of the war crimes and how they're treating the people over there in Palestine. And so, you know, these people are valid in the earth, man. But let me get that scripture real quick. Least of the flock shall draw them out, right? Jeremiah 50 and verse, let's see, 45, right? Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he have taken against Babylon, and his purpose that it proposed Salakia against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. You see, the least of the flock draw them out, but eventually their habitation is going to be made desolate. Now, I did a lesson the other day of China, right? The Moabites saying, hey, if these Chosenites, if these Chosenites use a nuclear missile, hey, we coming through with it, man. We ain't playing with y'all. We gonna hit you, right? We gonna hit you. We gonna hit you. So yeah, the other nations ain't playing with you. So we'll see how this Strait of Tammuz war and conflict go about. But without further ado, you know, Elder Malcolm often gets into videos with, you know, with her. I'm gonna play this video right here. As you see, it's official. The world has turned on the Chosenites, right? And fair use, fair use. Let's go ahead and play this video.
World leaders are beginning to completely turn on Israel, from Poland to Turkey to South Korea, Japan, and even Asian nations are jumping in on this too. European nations, Spain.
See, the nations are waking up to her wickedness, man. And matter of fact, I'm gonna get this real quick. Then I'll play the video, right? Limitations 4. Y'all probably already know where I'm going. Hey, it's best for you to, you know, just live it up. Have a good time while you can. Because this is going to be your last hurrah. Matter of fact, I may get this in a different translation. Limitations. Let me get that. Slack here. Said limitations. 4 and let's say 21 to 22. Let's see what the GNT says, right? Slack it, y'all. Turn to it. Right? Limitations 4 and 21 and 22 in the GNT, right? Laugh on people of Edom and Uz. Be glad while you can. If you understood and knew what was coming unto you, you would be having a good time. Or you, as the scriptures say, you know, if you bless the Israelites, you're going to be blessed, right? If you bless the Israelites, you're going to be blessed. You curse them, you're going to be cursed. So you have a great cursing and horrible life ahead of you, right? So once again, if you was wise, you'd be living it up, man. Be glad while you can. Let's read that again. Laugh on, people of Edom and Uz. Be glad while you can. Your disaster is coming too. You too will stagger naked in shame, right? You're being exposed, and disaster, destruction is going to come upon you. Matter of fact, the scriptures say, Book of Job, the Lord shall rain upon him while he is eating. Right? This Strait of Hormuz have it's all up to the Lord. The Lord controls the king at the end of the day. It's all up how this may be used to implement the MOTB, right? Because right now people are feeling that squeeze. People are feeling it. And so Jacob's trouble's going to really, really pop off. And then for the people, they're going to put it out there. Hey, you want things to go back to normal? Hey, take this thing, right? Anyways, verse 22. Zion has paid for her sins. The Lord will not keep her in exile any longer. But Edom, the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, will punish you. He will expose your guilty acts, right? The nations is calling you out, right? With the EP files and so on and so forth. All the wickedness and treaties that you have broken. Matter of fact, I was watching a video. This may be the same video, Salakia, right? They'll go into it. They are committing war crimes. They are committing war crimes. Matter of fact, you got this right here. How will the Chosenites collapse, right? Anyways, let's play this video.
Italy, Germany even, which is something else, because Germany usually just gives Israel a complete pass for anything and everything, feeling like it cannot criticize, should not criticize. Oh, but they're starting to criticize. Let's start off with Poland. A Polish MP displayed the Israeli flag, but the Israeli flag looks a little bit different. Watch this.
Poles are already feeling Israel's attacks in the Middle East through fuel prices, but how do children feel it when dozens of times more have died than in the entire war in Ukraine? It's because the Jews are using a forbidden phosphorus bomb which depletes oxygen from the air and leads to their death by suffocation. The smoke from...
See, committing these war crimes, man. We're seeing in real time why the Lord calls for genocide. All right. First you must serve your slavery, but we're seeing in real time why the Lord said, hey, after y'all serve y'all slavery, y'all gotta go. Now, let me see, what was that scripture? I believe it was Numbers 24, I believe, about Balaam, right? Let's get that. Balaam, this is, I'm gonna just get to the point. Numbers 24 and verse 18. Now, this is about Balaam, Moabite, who tried to curse the Israelites. And the Lord showed him a little something, man. Like, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is future prophecy. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy the children of Sheph. Right? Our big brother Yahushua is coming down with that great power, man. Hey, our King David's gonna be back in his throne, and he gonna be out here doing damage too, right? And the elect, right? The 144,000 men gonna be out here doing damage, man. So we have nothing to lose, but everything to gain, right? And Edom shall be a possession, right? We see in real time why they must be a possession, why they must be locked up in a cage, right? Because they love blood. They can't go to sleep unless they cause some to fall, right? Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do violently, right? Said earlier, man of the Lord gonna be out here doing damage too. Big brother Yahushua, hey, vengeance is mine. Hey, he gonna be throwing it down to the point where You know, these people rather have the rocks and crush them instead of feeling the wrath of our big brother Yahushua, right? Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion and destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, we're seeing in real time the war crimes and disgusting behavior and how they moving and conducting themselves, right? Why they must be destroyed and put into captivity. When he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. So that's coming.
Bomb gets into the lungs and burns them from within. They suffocate and burn from the inside at the same time. Tens of thousands of women and children. But if some child is lucky and doesn't suffocate, white phosphorus will stick to their cheek, to their hand, and burns through the tissues right down to the bone. It cannot be extinguished, so the cheek must be cut off, the hand amputated. Israel is committing, right before our very eyes, a genocide of truly horrific and exceptional cruelty. Israel is...
And they calling him out, man. Your wicked deeds are being exposed. Let's see what he does right here.
The new Third Reich and its flag should look exactly like that. Oh, thank you so much.
And we see in real time why they gotta why they gotta knock off the internet, man. We see in real time.
What's interesting is that people in the crowd, the rest of the MPs, didn't gasp in shock when they saw that. They instead sat there and they looked at it and then they seemed to cheer. So people are feeling like, yes, Israel is acting like Nazis. Here's Turkey. Erdogan compares Bibi to Hitler.
Israel's stalling and deception should not be given any more credit. In the absence of the implementation of UN Security Council Resolution number 2735, coercive measures against Israel should be put on the agenda. Israel's behavior has once again demonstrated that it is imperative for the international community to develop a protection mechanism for Palestinian civilians. 70 years ago, just as Hitler was stopped by an alliance of humanity, Netanyahu and his murder network must be stopped by an alliance of humanity. We believe that the General Assembly's authority to recommend the use of force, as in the 1950 Resolution on Unity for Peace, should be considered in this process. Israel's stalling and deception should...
Sorry about that. Okay. And by the way, we do dub these into English so that we can all understand them rather than reading subtitles. So Erdogan there comparing him to Hitler, saying, we need to...
and wasn't Hitler, wasn't he technically a small head too? Right? Hey, this is just the same people over, Let's get this scripture right here. All right, Jeremiah 51 and verse 35, because, hey, remember, Babylon the Great and Amalek is joined together. Amalek rules over this kingdom. There was a report came over the other day, right? It says pretty much Trump reports to Bibi Mikulski personally, or something to that effect, man. Amalek's in control, right? With Amalek being in control, yeah, you speak against this man, hey, they gonna want that blood, or they gonna want that shut down, man. So yeah, we seeing in real time why the internet must be taken down, because this man is being bad mouth, and rightfully so. Jeremiah 51 and verse 35, make Babylon suffer as she made us suffer. Remember, they committed many war crimes. They have done wickedness. They have touched the apple of the Lord's eye, and they touching these other nations, our slaves, right? They doing them bad. They doing them dirty. Now, granted, some of them over there most definitely could be Jake, right? So it makes it even worse. You touching the apple of the Lord's eye. You have to pay for that. Let's get it again. Make Babylon suffer as she made us suffer, right? The Lord is about balance. And you're going to have to get that. Say the people of Zion, make the people of Babylonia pay for spilling our blood, right? They have to pay for that.
Just as Hitler was stopped 70 years ago by United Front of Humanity, Netanyahu and his network of violence must also be stopped by a global alliance of humanity. This really upset Bibi. Bibi is now putting Turkey in its crosshairs. Turkey is the new Iran, according to Israel. Many inside of the Israeli government have been putting their sights on Turkey. Netanyahu has been tweeting a couple of times about Erdogan. This is one of them saying, Israel under my leadership will continue to fight Iran's terror regime and its proxies, unlike Erdogan, who accommodates them and massacres his own Kurdish citizens. He also tweeted out against Erdogan saying that he's supporting terrorists. So very clearly, Turkey is going to be 2 weeks away from having a nuclear weapon for the next couple of decades here very shortly. And, Turkey is a NATO ally. Israel is not. And
let the weak say I'm strong, right? The other nations is gearing up for war. They're gearing up their nuclear capabilities, right?
Israel is, this is the bloodthirst that doesn't stop. It just never stops. It will continue to spread. And guess what? You and I are not Jews, and they will come after us next because they believe, Netanyahu and Zionists, not all Jews, of course, believe this. There's many of these Zionists who are against other Jews as well, thinking that they're also the enemy, and they're coming after them also. They're going to separate from them, sort of like the Shias and the Sunnis, right? That's what's going to happen between some Jews and other Jews. They're going to have some other new name for them, and then they're going to be waging war. I mean, what we see with the Sunnis, for example, is they go after the Shias more than they go after anybody else. And I think, we could predict the future with Zionists is that they're going to go after the anti-Zionist Jews, just like the Sunnis go after the Shias. And then they're also going to come after the rest of us, just like the Wahhabis come after the rest of us too. So everybody's...
Yeah, Jacob's trouble, hey, the famine of the word, crashing of the internet, calling you an anti-sim when it's supposed to be shim, not sim. Dumbasses, man. Get on my nerves with that. Hey, we ready to see the judgment. That judgment is coming. Let me see if there's any more I want to get. Let's get this.
Last year, we're better than that now. We even, and this was, and we don't know how this person died. It gets dragged up from 2024. How dare you? How dare you? The Israelis say. But this just shows, even South Korea is starting, the Asian countries have largely stayed out of this, and now they're starting to point the finger at Israel and say, this is a problem. I mean, you've got the president on social media posting a video saying, I got to look into this. Is this true? This is terrible. So obviously, and the thing is, the reason why the president of Korea would even believe that is because it's believable. Because Israel does do stuff like that. And we've all seen it time and time again now for the last couple of years, live streamed to our telephones, right? So it's believable to the point where now even Asians who are on the other side of the world are shocked by this and starting to chime in on these issues. Jae Myung, he continued to say, it is disappointing to Israel, saying it's disappointing you don't even reflect on the criticisms from people around the world. You don't even reflect on the criticism.
That pride on them, man. What the scriptures say, pride goeth before destruction, right? Let's see. Let me see if I get one. Proverbs 18 and verse 12, before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty, and before honor is humility. These people have no humility. When these other nations are rebuking you, you're not taking heed to it. You got that haughty spirit on you. So now they got to take matters in their own hands, call you out. And if that don't work, as we know through the scriptures, World War III is going to pop off. And gonna get that iron arrow coming to you.
That people have of you. So now you've got the South Koreans involved. Now the Japanese are too. Watch this. Again, we dubbed this for you, but Japanese TV points out Jared Kushner, and they're like, now why is Jared Kushner even involved at all in these peace talks? Watch this.
Here are the individuals who are expected to be present. First, on the American side, we have Special Envoy Witkoff, who has been involved in negotiations with Iran, Mr. Kushner, President Trump's son-in-law, and Vice President Vance, who is said to have opposed intervention in Iran. Meanwhile, from the Iranian side, we anticipate Speaker of Parliament Ghalibaf, the former commander of the Revolutionary Guard, and Foreign Minister Arakchi. Well, in these two countries...
And then I have a very straightforward question. If you could enlighten me about Mr. Kushner, who is among the American delegation attendees, by what authority is he there? What exactly is this person? Trump's? Huh? His son-in-law. So, in other words, is he participating as a representative of the Trump family? That's the only way it appears to me. And what's more, he's Jewish, isn't he? So, concerning these discussions with Iran, I actually get the feeling that it might be better if some people weren't even involved. I've always wondered who this person is, coming in with the title of son-in-law in such a position.
I like how the dubbing kind of suddenly went to an Australian accent, but whatever. You got the English there, right? So even the Japanese are looking at it and saying, why is Jared Kushner even there? He's like a representative of the Trump family. He's married to Ivanka Trump, and he's Jewish. So what is he doing there in these peace negotiations? And it is a good question. I mean, look, this is the United States against Iran. That's the negotiation on this. It's not Israel at the negotiating table. And of course, the Americans, J.D. Vance, were sitting there calling Netanyahu all the time. Why do they even need to call Netanyahu? They've got his shiny, bright golden boy, Jared Kushner, sitting right there. So Jared Kushner does a lot of the talking for the state of Israel, because that's who Jared Kushner actually represents. So why is he even there? You know, what is the point of that? Even the Japanese could look at that and say, this just doesn't make any sense. The good thing about the Asians is that they're not gaslit or brainwashed with narratives their whole lives about Israel. They don't care at all. They don't know anything that's going on. So they're just seeing it now.
Let's get this right here. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, Salakia, this is Daniel 4 and verse 37. Right? You go into the account of Nebuchadnezzar. The Lord humbled that man, right? And a great humbling is coming unto these people, right? How Nebuchadnezzar was out there pretty much a base, man, as an animal, you know? And these people are about to be put into that base state again with chains and working for us, man, right? You see how an ox and a mule, you know, they're good at their job, good at working. Hey, the Edomite, he gonna be put in that state, man. Daniel 4 verse 37. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, pray and exalt and honor the King of heaven, all who works are truth in his ways of judgment. Those that walk in pride, he is able to abase, right? You see that? So, hey, don't play around with the Lord, man. Hey, matter of fact, this is the Lord's movie, regardless. So, you know, you can't you can't help that you have that pride. Matter of fact, you go into this is just a Google definition of a base, you know, just real quick of what that means. A base means to lower someone or something in rank, reputation, or esteem, essentially to humble, degrade, or humiliate, right? And all these are going to happen to the Edomites. Let's see if there's some more on this I want to get. They may be it. You know, that's pretty much the point. Other nations is waking up to your wickedness and how you are conducting yourself.
The exclusion of Hamas from any governmental dynamic in Palestine, the progressive withdrawal of Israel from Gaza, the international community's commitment to managing the phase following the ceasefire, leading to the realization of the two-state solution.
Well, I mean, I think many of us don't even think a two-state solution is even possible at this point. Israel just needs to be
But yeah, hold on.
shut down the same way that Nazi Germany was, and that's what obviously needs to happen. It needs to.
And she said it, man. They're going to be abased, right? Because this man loves blood. He has been given the fatness of the earth, but he is still not satisfied. He wants more. So yeah, there's no more wisdom and team in how this man is moving and conducting himself. Yeah, judgment is going to follow. All right, so that's pretty much the point right there. Yahweh desires an edifying lesson. Shalom.